Morning, y'all. Welcome. Today is Friday. First, I want to give God thanks and all the glory for waking me up this morning, the ability to trade and make money and help others trade as well. Let's get to these charts. A lot of things going off right now. Tesla was one of them that I was watching. Tesla is already pushing to the upside. Um, I had like QQQ as well. So Tesla is about to test that 200, so we could reject off that 200. QQQ was sitting at that 200 level as well, so we could see a rejection right there. Let me go ahead and look at my alerts. Um, okay. When did that go off?
Thursday.
Okay.
I don't remember you telling me that yesterday.
No, I don't remember that going off either.
Yeah, because if I would have
At
been like,
12
yo,
o'clock, I had a
let's
Google
run.
alert yesterday.
We were already done. That's why.
Oh yeah. That's why.
Make sure we're on TikTok.
All right. So right now, guys, paying attention to the charts. I like Apple to the upside as well. Apple break here. If Apple breaks this day high, then we're going to go up more on Apple. So Apple just broke right here. So I'm going to be looking at Apple to the upside. Let's go on here in a 15-minute. All right, so I'm going to jump into an Apple call.
200?
No, 202.
202. For this week or next week? Sorry. Okay. All right, we're in it.
All right, so I'm in an Apple call, guys, for next week.
This is
What's not on?
TikTok.
How can I get it? I have to click on it.
Go live.
Oh, right there. I forgot to click that.
Now you can go back to your charts.
All right. All right, guys. So we should be looking good right now on Apple. Apple is pushing right now.
All right.
What was our cost on Apple?
273 and something.
Our cost is 273.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so our cost is 273 on Apple. Next week contracts. Now the reason why I got in Apple calls, guys, is right here. I'm gonna show you why I got in Apple calls. We have a continuation. This is a continuation basically because we didn't have a down situation right here, but we had a red candle, kind of like a doji, but we break this high, right? Going up. So our first take is gonna be at this level right here. Okay, our first take is gonna be right at 20. I'll say 202, right? Right at 202. Um, and then we're gonna have right here. So let me zoom in on this so you can see it. Now, this is a day chart that I'm looking at right now. We're at a level, if you look left, I always tell you guys to look left. We had a rejection right here. So that's why it's testing that area right now, right? We had a rejection right there, okay? We break above day high, so we should continue up, right? So my next level is gonna be right at VWAP. So right at VWAP right here, you put it right at VWAP. Basically 202, because this says 191.96. And then the body of this candle right here, so 203, followed by right at the top of the wick, which is 204.21. All right, so those are the targets that I'm looking for. Now, I got my contracts for next week. If you buy your contracts for today, you want to make sure that you're trading and you're getting out of your contract. So once you're up a certain amount, make sure you're trimming because the chop will kill your contracts. Okay, especially on Apple, the chops will kill your contract. So just make sure you're playing safe today. If oh my gosh, look at Tesla. Oh my
Jesus,
gosh.
bees.
Mm.
Was that one that you wanted to say too?
Yep.
Well, you've been talking about Tesla since
I've been
days
talking
now.
I've been talking about Tesla since yesterday. So one of the stocks, so a key stock that I had mentioned to you guys, I'm gonna put it up. I talked about this a couple of days ago, and I told you guys about AVPT, right? This is long term for me as far as this stock, but great stock to get into, right? So I got into that. I called that like down here somewhere, but I've been in it since. Okay, so just a good stock to look on overall. But on Tesla today, Tesla was on my list to trade. Um, I just hate that it gapped up, and I don't like trading gaps. But my target, I was waiting for at least to start right here, pull back a little bit, and then break high. My first target was gonna be right here at 92, right at the 200. But Tesla right now already broke, so Tesla is gonna most likely
Hit
go test
300.
300.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the next cycle level for Tesla. So Tesla is gonna go up that level right there. If you look left to Tesla, you're gonna have this line right here. So let me draw that. So right here, you're gonna have some kind of rejection right there and right here. Now, when I say rejection, it could be a pullback, okay? Not necessarily say it's gonna hit right there and then drop right back down. It could be a pullback. So it could go up here, hit right here, and then pull back and then continue up again and get to the next level. Right now, Apple is pulling back. So if you guys just are joining in right now, I'm in Apple calls. I got next week calls. Okay. I'm not trading any same day contracts today. Right. So I got an Apple. I'm in next week contracts for Apple.
Did you say QQQ?
I did say QQQ. QQQ for today. Um
Yeah.
hold on. QQQ did my trigger it didn't trigger yet.
Oh, okay. You have an alert.
Yeah, I have an alert.
Oh, okay.
So QQQ right now is hitting on my 200. So let me show you what I'm seeing on the 200. I have a split screen, guys, so that's why you're probably not seeing it. Where is QQQ? All right, so for QQQ, reason why I'm not in QQQ yet, my target once it breaks will be 97, right? So
For
QQQ
the
right now, 497. So right now, QQQ has a level to break, okay? And even if it break here, if you look left, there's a lot of levels right here, okay? So right now we're sitting on that 200 level, that 200. So if we break above this 200, then we're good. If we break this, break yesterday's high, right? Then the target at that point is going to be 497 is going to be the target. If you look left, right over here, it's going to be 497, 498 area right there, right? So 497 will be my area. Um, but just be careful with that right here because you could see people are going in QQQ, but you could see a rejection off of there as well. The nice thing is on the 15-minute, we're above VWAP right here. The first 15 minutes are always crucial. A lot of times I don't get in trades before the first 15 minutes, but Apple broke to the upside. So that's why I jumped in Apple. And Apple was on my list to trade today. So I'm following my trading plan. Apple is coming back down, but I have Apple for next week contracts. If you had this week contracts, you would be dead in the water right now.
Facts.
But because I know Apple broke to the
Because
upside,
Apple can always go touch the 50%
right?
and trace back down, and then
So if Apple come down and touch the 50%, I will most likely average into Apple. Mm, couple other ones. All right, Tesla right now is about to hit 300. Um, no. Was this on there? No. So if you guys are just joining in right now, um, I'm in Apple calls for next week. Okay, I'm in Apple calls for next week. Mara looks really good. I forgot about Mara too because I had something. Mara looks good to the upside with Bitcoin running with coin. Coin is should be moving as well on coin. So coin should be up right now. Yeah, coin is up right now. Coin is about to break day high. So it's creating an outside bar. It already did create an outside bar. So coin should push. Target on coin is gonna be 325, 225 on coin. So with coin, now you have a gap to fill on coin. Um, it's probably gonna fill its gap. So you have a gap to fill right at this line right here, 217. 217. So it might go there at 217, but ultimately you're talking about 225. Okay, so 225 with Bitcoin running, you can see 225 probably by today or sometime next week. Yeah.
today.
Oh,
Did you want coin?
no.
Okay.
Let's see. Wait. No. When was that for?
It was today.
Let's see what Bitcoin is doing right here. Why is my stuff not working? Why is my thing not working?
What?
Does it need to be plugged in?
What? Here. Where is it?
On the other side. I think it's dead. plug it in the computer. All right, guys. So I'm going to get. Could you go on it? Let me see. I'm going to get a 225 call on. Let me make sure a 225 call. If this go down and test VWAP, I want it to go down and test VWAP. Okay, it's not doing it either, right? I want it to go down and test VWAP, but it doesn't look like it wants to. I'm gonna get 225 calls on coin. These are some YOLOs. So I'm getting 225 calls on coin, and that's for today's contract. So my average cost on those are 26 bucks. Okay. 26 bucks. Not a lot that I'm risking on these. So let me go ahead and look at BBTC. Okay. All right. So like I said, my average costs on the 225 calls are 26 bucks. And those are coin calls. Right now they're up 30 they're up 33 what is this? Refresh. All right, we're up 50% on these. No. This is going to break right here. There we go. Up 80% on these. There we go. Nice push on this. Should be up 100% on these. I'm going to trim some at 100%. I'm going to trim some at 100%. Oh, it's at 90% right now. Okay. All right, just, man, that drop right there. Oh, I have Bitcoin. Sorry, guys. I have Bitcoin showing on this screen. I should be showing you coin. My bad. My bad. This is what I'm looking at right here. So we have 15 minutes left. We have 10 minutes left in this 15-minute candle. The first target is right up here at 217, right? That's the crazy part, man. All right, guys. So for those of you who are just joining in, I'm in Apple calls for next week, and I'm in some coin calls, 225 calls. Now, this is the reason why I tell people to trim all the time. Because the simple fact that, all right, so just a lesson learned, right? My average cost on the coin 225 calls is 26, right? So we went up to 90%, right? 90% didn't hit the 100%, and I didn't get to close any of them, right? So I'm still in it. And this is the reason why I always tell people, hey, make sure you're trimmed. Okay. Now, we're not heavy in it, but at the same time, look at how much profit that was. Okay. So, in a sense, I still, my first target on, on coin is going to be 217.77. That's my first target. Now, what they could be doing here, which they always do on a Friday, is they kill your contracts. Okay, so that's why I said when you're going, if you're doing a contract and you're doing a call and you don't want to risk a lot, then at that point you make sure that you're buying next week contract. So if you're not comfortable taking that quick trade, then go ahead, get your contracts for next week. Okay. So if you get your contracts for next week, you wouldn't see a drop down because the contracts went from 26 to 48 back down to 15. Okay. So now they're at 27 again. So I'm at break even again. Right. So that's the reason why. And it's $1 less than where I entered from. Okay. Dollar, it's $1 more than where I entered from. So this is the reason why I always say make sure you're taking profits. For me, um, it was a YOLO, and I'm like, yo, I wanted 100%. My wife looking at me like giving me like bloodshot eyes right now. Y'all don't even understand because she's pissed off. She's pissed off, right? But sometimes I have to tell her like, yo, go ahead if you feel comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yo, just don't ask no questions. Just go ahead and take some off the table. I'm never mad with taking profit. I look at her sideways, but I'm never mad with her taking profit. Okay. I will never be mad at taking profit. I'll look at her and be like, yo, didn't I say it was gonna go this here? But apart from that, never be mad for her taking profit. We're back in profit just by a little bit, just a little bit above break even right now. But I'm expecting this to push.
Can you at least put one
of Apple.
on that side.
Apple. I'm looking at Apple in the
Oh,
corner over here.
okay.
So I'm watching Apple right now.
I wasn't
But
sure.
again, with Apple, I bought next week contracts.
Yeah.
So in a sense, it's like I already know with Apple, just to so you guys could see real quick, because I have both screens. So with Apple, this is what's going on with Apple right now. Um, a lot of times on Fridays, I'll tell you guys this on Fridays. Sometimes it's best to wait till 10 o'clock to trade because you'll get a good setup. Like look at Apple right now. We have a 3 and then we have a 1 Foreman. So if we have a 3-1 at the end of this and a 3, if you notice right here, a 3 is an engulfing candle when it breaks the top and the bottom of the previous candle. A 1 is an inside bar. It doesn't break the top and the bottom. It's just inside that previous candle. So with that said, a lot of times if you have that setup, a break of the inside bar, the number 1, a break of that high will shoot it up to previous high and continuation. A break of the low means that it will drop, come back down more. If Apple touch here at the 50%, then I'll average in some more on my Apple calls. Now, again, like earlier I was mentioning too, right? So if you was buying Apple calls for today, you would have been cooked. You would have been cooked if you was buying Apple calls for today because right now Apple just dropped all of this right here. So your contracts for today would have been cooked. You would have been done. But because you're buying contracts for next week, it's not being affected as much. Now in coin, look at how much coin is up from the time I bought it. Coin is up $2 from the time I bought it, but I'm like 3% up versus early I was 90% up, right? So it's all good though. It's all good. So I'm still good with coin. Again, my first target on coin with Bitcoin pushing, I'm expecting coin to do the same. With crypto pushing, expect look at your cryptocurrency stocks, right? So look at Coin, look at Mara, look at Riot, look at those and see what they're doing because you're gonna see ultimately you're gonna see a push in those. So right now we're going back up again on Coin, huh?
No, I said it's the same.
Yeah, right now we're going back up on Coin, up a little bit now on Coin, up like 30% on Coin, not 20%. Yeah, see, the contracts are not moving as much anymore, right? So for the contracts to move, we need a push.
Sell in the push. Yeah.
We gotta get a
The
push.
momentum.
Okay, so above this high, we're gonna get another push in the calls. Okay, but right now we're not getting nothing. So a pullback can damage the contracts even more. Okay, we want to see that push, and maybe in this case, I'll take the profits instead this time. So I'm up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up 30% now in the contracts. Mm-mm-mm. All right, here we go on Apple too. So Apple is pushing back up. Apple is pushing back up. We got 13 seconds left in this candle. Just to show how we're doing on coin.
Oh, I was gonna go
She
look
got
at
out
Apple.
of coin.
Sorry.
I'm expecting coin to push right here, guys. So here's a push. We just want this to not down, but yeah, I want a pullback. I want a little bit of pullback.
Still the same.
Still
Still
the
a little
same.
profit, but
Yeah. But right here, I want that push. Okay. So I want that push. It went up, but I want that push to continue up. So here we go. Let's get that push. this is gonna cut because it's today's contract, it's gonna cut my contracts up. All right. But remember what I was talking about with Apple. So if you take a look right now, we're bullish on Apple. Okay. That's why I said sometimes you have to wait till 10 o'clock. I kind of jumped in early on Apple because it already broke the day. But right now, we're right back where I started on Apple. Okay. So at 10 o'clock, a lot of times you'll see this setup, a 3-1 setup. When you see that setup at 10 o'clock, a break of this, you take it, you're taking calls right here, and your first target is gonna be day high. Okay.
So if you didn't get
So
in,
if
this
you
was the
didn't get in,
time.
this is kind of like a time to get in. And then your stop loss at that point will be the bottom down here. That's if you're trading same day contracts. If you're trading same day contracts, your contracts are gonna probably go to shit if you're trading same day contracts with that kind of drop. Um, but either way, Apple, again, I like Apple to the upside. Apple should be good to the upside. I'm in Apple calls right now, and my average on Apple calls
$2.73.
273. So I'm probably down in my contracts. Yeah, I'm down on my contracts. It's all good. So if you guys get in, you're getting it at a better price than I am. All right. So the two trades that I'm in, guys, is I'm in Apple calls and coin calls. Apple 20250 calls for next week. Apple 202 calls for next 20250 calls for next week. And I'm in coin 225 calls. Those are more like lotto calls for today. Cut Tesla, babe. Tesla is hidden.
It went past the target.
Tesla hits. Tesla hit my target right there again.
We went past it. It's
So
called
that's my
bullish.
target. So Tesla hit few of my targets, right? So if I show you right there, Tesla is hitting my first target right now. I don't know why I didn't fucking just did the damn thing, but so Tesla is hitting my first target. The second target is gonna be 308. That's the second target on Tesla.
Tesla's a good one.
I don't have that. Look at this. Mm, man, oh man, oh man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. So I'm only in two trades right now. I'm in Apple calls for next week. I'm in Apple 20250 calls for next week, and I'm in coin calls. Um, I did some lotto calls for this week. So I'm telling you, lotto calls. When I say lotto calls is normally like, in a sense, you spend a lot. You spend a little bit on the contracts, but you're expecting them to do like a crazy amount as far as a return, right? So you're expecting minimum 100%. So when I do these calls, I normally go for like a minimum of 100%. Um, but that's why I didn't sell at 90%. Um, it was the contract was up 90%, and I didn't sell. So it's all good. Um, but I'm expecting it to go certain way. Well, yeah, I'm expecting it to go a certain level. So let's see. Let's see where it takes us. See with Google. Remember I said about Google is a 3-1 setup on the day, which it looks like it's gonna do a double inside. Yeah, it looks like it's gonna do a double inside. And then it's gonna
Then we'll be
probably,
prepared for the behind come Monday.
yeah, but on Monday it's gonna either gap up
Or
or gap down. On Monday it's either gonna gap up or gap down.
All right.
What happened?
Nothing.
All right, guys. So this is why I say, like, see right now what's happening with price. Price is just moving sideways right now. Price is literally moving sideways right now. On Apple, if you look at Apple right now, price is moving within this range right here. Okay. So with price moving within this range, it's like it can kill your contracts. That's why I didn't buy today's contract. Okay. I bought next week's contract. Also with coin, I'm still in the coin calls. Now, just to let you guys know, my average on coin is 26. Okay. $26 is my average on coin. Right now, price is at 16 and 19. So if you guys get in, you're getting it at a lower price than me. So by the time it hit my entry level, you guys are up almost 50% at that point. So almost up 50%. So that's a crazy part. Um, Thing is sideways today. AVGO is sideways today. But AVGO ran for the week, and AVGO hit my target for the week because I gave targets out for the week. So AVGO did what it was supposed to do. Um, this is pushing. AVT is just pushing. Um, man, yesterday on Boeing, um, you gotta pay attention when the news is on, especially when Trump is talking. Trump will give you signs and plays right in that, right? So yesterday Boeing was at like $90 or less than $90, under $90. It was $88, right at the bottom or close to the bottom. And they said BA out of their name. They said Boeing, they're someone is gonna buy like $10 billion worth of planes or something like that from Boeing. Price shoot up $4 automatically within like 5 minutes. $4. So those you have to pay attention to those, especially when news time, because it's an opportunity for you to make money as well. Okay, so those are the things that you could do. You could wait. You could. Some people they probably say, "Listen, you know what? On the days when Trump is talking, those are the days that I'll trade." You have people like that. It'd be like because they're looking for opportunities of what's going to be said. And a lot of times they'll name a company, um, and that company will most likely move a good amount within that time period. And when I say time period, once they say it out of their mouth, it's gonna be within a couple minutes. So you have to be quick on it. But yeah, Boeing was crazy yesterday. Um, Dell, I have Dell as I'm bullish on Dell for the week. At least it had broke on the week, so I was bullish on Dell. But I don't like the movement as much. Dell is gonna be something that's long term. So if you want to play it like a month out or something, then that's fine. We had a 2-2 reversal on Dell to the upside. So the target on Dell is gonna be 103. But you have to give it time. Okay. You can't buy next week contract and thinking it's gonna go to 103 right away. It can, but this is on a monthly time frame. So in a sense, if you buy it and you say, listen, you know what, I'm gonna buy 3 or 4 months out calls on Dell, for $100 calls on Dell, 3 or 4 months out, that should be fine as well. I did talk about Enphase. I don't know who bought it, who didn't buy it, but I talk about Enphase being at the bottom at $43. So Enphase right there, right now 43 is now at $50. So those are good. And then right here, we have a bullish divergence on the weekly. Now, do we have that on the monthly? We also have a bullish divergence setup on the monthly. Now, for the bullish divergence to really happen, we have to come all the way back up to 62. So, in a sense, for us to see some type of reversal. So, in a sense, if you don't want to risk it on stocks, you could say, you know what, let me go ahead and let me buy some. If you don't want to risk it in options, because options is a lot more risky, you could say, listen, you know what, let me go ahead and buy shares. And you could buy shares. And then at that point, you know that, all right, if it breaks below 42 or 43, then I'm out. If it breaks, because what is the low on this? 4309. So if it breaks below 4309, then I'm out, right? You're taking a risk on that, but for the upside for end phase is 100%. You would lose if you buy stocks on this, you're losing what, 10, almost 20%, right? Almost 20%, because that will be a $7 drop. So you're talking about 7% or so, right? 7.5%. But on the upside, no, not 7.5, sorry, 15%. But on the upside, what you will be gaining is 100% return on your money, coming back up to $100. So the risk reward you're looking at, you're risking, it's a 5-to-1 risk reward as far as that. Can you look at end phase like contracts way out? Let me just see what it costs.
Sure. When you say way out, what do you mean way out?
Like
Next month.
like a 6-month contract for like $55 call.
Too far. Right here. How much? A call?
Yeah,
For what price? 155?
yeah.
This is 840.
The spreads are ridiculous.
Not
No,
bad.
spreads are not bad. So it'll be $800 for a 6-month contract, $55. And there's a gap that needs to be filled at 53. All right, so let's see. All right, so Apple is pulling back in. Apple is dropping back down. Apple is dropping back down. MasterCard just gave me the alert. Everything is dropping back down.
You didn't bring the water up today?
Oh, I just got an alert on MasterCard, guys. So let me see on MasterCard. Yeah. So MasterCard, my first target on MasterCard to the downside was 565. It just broke the day low. So 565 was that level on MasterCard. Dang.
You got this?
Yeah.
Your legs trembling today?
A little bit. All right. Everything is dropping down, guys. Let's see right here on Tesla. Tesla didn't hit that target yet, but hit the first target right there. So Apple coming back down right here. Everything is consolidating right now. It's like choppy. Mm. Mm. I always say by 11 o'clock you should be done on Fridays. Shouldn't try to be in the market for no long time on Fridays. Mm. Two, two, then like everything took a turn and coming right back down. Mm, mm, mm. How much time left on that? All right, so we got 1 minute and thing left in this candle right here. I'm gonna wait, and then I'm gonna do a coin. Then the spreads just went. Hold on. Right, and the test up right here. I want it to drop down some more. I'm gonna do a quick coin call here for a bounce back up because the 50 minutes about to end. All right, so I'm in coin calls. 24 is my average call for 215 calls. If it breaks the day, then I'm gonna close it. All right, so let's see right here. I'm looking for, it's close to the 200. So I'm looking for a bounce right here because the candle is so extended on this. All right, so I'm already up on these. I bought the contracts for 24. They're at 30 right now. So up 30% on these. What is that?
Well, I don't know. That was weird.
All right, here we go on the contracts, guys. Bought these for 24. They're at 31.
Coin pushing again.
It dropped significantly, but with the drop that it made, I bought it back at the bottom.
Oh.
All right, so we're up over 50% on these right now.
At least put it on thing.
Oh.
Well, you should watch it on small time frame.
Here we go, guys.
They can't see that.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're not seeing what I saw on coin shit. So I bought it right here because the 15 minutes extended. So that's why I jump into it right now. You could trim your contracts if you want. Could trim your contracts if you want right here. They're back down to break even and 35. So now the spreads are getting a little bit crazy on them.
Let's go, coin.
Here we go. We need a big push right here. There we go. All right, almost at 100% on these.
It's already there. Oh. Should watch it on a small time frame, like 1 minute.
What time does that say left? Got 2 minutes left in this.
12, you mean?
No, in a 5-minute candle, we have
Oh.
2 minutes. Let me see what a 5 minute. Oh, shit.
Shit. Yeah, VWAP.
All right,
I mean,
so
200. Or did it hit it yet?
it hit the 200. It's hitting a resistance level at the 200, guys. So I'm gonna take my profit right here.
What are you doing?
What is? Why is it on
You
that?
changed it.
There we go. I was holding on a little bit longer.
Oh,
Come on.
you need to press limit then.
Yeah, I need to sell it at limit.
Well, then you're at market. You need to adjust it.
At limit, it will hit the 100%.
You're not at limit.
39. Let me go there. All right, I just sold those guys. So that was a 5 minute trade, less than 5 minute trade. Well over. I bought the contracts at 24, sold them at 38. So um the reason why I sold is because on the 5 minute, all right, Google puts, Google is coming down. So the reason why I sold those is because, all right, let's talk about why I got in the trade in the first place. So I got in the trade because right here, coin fell on this 2 to reversal on the 15 minute and it came all the way down right here. Okay. Now, I was looking for it to hit the 200, but it didn't. We had like less than a minute. So I know that it was going to try to push down and touch right here. So within that less than a minute, I bought the contracts. Okay. Knowing that down at the bottom of day low was going to be my stop loss. Now, if I had kept it, I would have been over 100% right now. Okay. I would have been over 100% right now, but it was hitting on that 200 on the five. So once I looked at it, I saw that, okay, 5 minute is about to end. Let me go over back to the 5 minute. And the 5 minute was right here. Now, good sign for this is that it closed above the 200, right? We want this new 5 minute doesn't have a top on it. We want that 5 minute to stay above and then come up and continue over that and come back up at least minimum to VWAP at 207, right? But the thing is, your contracts are going to be dead. Okay. So that's why you have to sell it when it's going up. I didn't do that earlier. My wife looked at me sideways. Okay. Contracts was up just like it was within a couple minutes. We was up 90% on the contracts, right? Um, so those contracts I didn't sell. These I made sure I sell, okay? Just to make up back. But here we go. As far as pushing back up, we're gonna push back up, but I didn't want to take the chance, guys. Right now, those contracts are have to be over 100% at this point.
Okay. Yeah, Google.
Why I keep doing that?
I don't know. Maybe it's the internet's unstable.
Now, one thing they can do, guys, that I always say is this is where you could get your contracts killed. Okay. Your contracts could get murdered within this situation right here. So that's why you always, when you're trading same day, you always want to make sure that you're trading and you're taking your profit. Earlier, I just got into where I'm like, all right, I'm taking it at 100%. Typically, these trades that I do on Fridays, if they're quick in and out, they're gonna be 100% trades. Okay. I like to take minimum 100% on the trades, but because of what happened this morning, I took my trade on this one. I took profits a little bit more earlier on this one. Um, but it made up for the trade that I did this morning on coin. So it already made up for that trade, and right now I'm still holding the 225 calls for coin. So that will make up for my losses. On Apple, I'm still in Apple calls. Okay. Now Apple is looking very bearish right now. But yeah, okay. Like I mentioned too, I did mention that. I'm looking for Apple to come down, test the 50 and bounce off of 50, if anything. Test the 50 and bounce off of 50. Remember, Apple gapped up this morning. So Apple had gapped up this morning from right here at 197.55. Okay, so it could come down, close the gap right there, bounce back up. It had gapped up $2. Wasn't even really looking at that as much. But the reason why I got into Apple calls is because this morning it broke. So it broke day high for continuation up. So that's why I took it. But I made sure that I took it for next week contracts and not this week contracts. Okay. So playing it safe and playing the continuation for next week. Okay. I can always average into this right here. And if I had looked left, like I talked about earlier, if I had looked left, I would have seen this before because once I looked left, I saw that it was right there. So if I had looked left, then that trade I probably would have waited on until it come down here. Now I would be getting into the trade. Okay. Now at this level right here, I'll be getting my Apple calls, but I got it because it broke up here earlier. So this right now is a great level as far as entry for Apple calls. Bearing in mind that if it continues down and break, if it continues down and break this low right here, then Apple is not going back up. But Apple right now is looking to close gaps before continuing up. Um, right now, if you look to the left, right, all gaps are filled on the date on the weekly time frame. So what do I mean by that? If you look over here, we gapped up to up here, right? So right here, Apple came, let me draw the line. So this week right here, these are daily candles. So this day right here, Apple gapped up the next day and then created this gap. So in a sense, when you have gaps, gaps need to be closed, right? So in a sense, if I had put my alert right here for when Apple to touch to close back that gap, then I would have bought the calls from right there. Okay. So once it closed the gap, right? It came down, closed this gap right here. So now once the gap is filled, then we could continue up because there's no gaps to fill right here. So we could see a continuation up, which that's what I'm looking for, the continuation up, but we're having this pullback. Okay. So having this pullback, it's okay. Um, but I got contracts for next week, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm comfortable with swinging the contracts into next week. On the weekly, we're right above VWAP on the weekly. So right here, we're right above weekly. Did we break? Did we break on a month? No, we did not break on a month. Mm. On the month, um, Apple could do some crazy stuff on a month.
Not even break
Apple could come back down on the month
because it never did a reversal to go
because it
up.
never did a reversal to go up. So on a month, it could come back down. Um, on the higher time frame is bearish. On the monthly time frame is bearish. 3 months, 3 months. We have 1 month, 22 days left. So we can't ignore those stuff. Like if you look at, that's why I said sometimes if you look at higher time frames, they will tell you certain things. Like look at where the low came.
Right
The
there.
low came right here.
Busted all that.
All of this
Look at that.
was support level right here. All of this closed above. Before we had resistance, 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 resistance. resistance kind of, right? And then you Apple build up all this support right here. Came right here, bounced off of support, went all the way back up. Okay? Now, not saying that Apple can't drop. Apple can drop because we're showing bearish divergence on the month, which for Apple to drop all the way back down here, something significant have to happen. Something significant. So, in a sense, tariffs, right? We have 90 days for tariffs. So if tariffs come back in and for some reason there's no deal created, then we can see a break of this and then come back down to here at VWAP and then you see some craziness. But right now with this bearish divergence on a monthly, um, you can see, and this is not monthly. Sorry, this is a 3 month. This is a 3 month. So when you see certain things like on a bigger time frame, it could mean a lot more. Okay. So yeah. Yeah. See what I was talking about with coin, guys? So coin came back down, and that's what I did earlier, right? That's what I did earlier. Coin came back down. So let me show you on coin right now. Coin came back down on that 15 minute. Okay. Like it's kind of like similar to what I did earlier, but I didn't take profit on it, right? And now I'm not sure where the contract is on coin, but it came back down, went up here. It's been consolidating since. So anytime you have a small drop back down here, right? When that drop happens, the contracts get worse. When that pop up happens, contracts don't get any better. You have to have a significant move to the upside for contracts to get better. So right now, we want to see a pullback on coin right here. So pullback, create that wick on the bottom. Once we create the wick on the bottom, then we want to see a break of this 15 minute right here. A break of that 15 minute at 205.63. Then we could go back up to 208 and 210. 210 is gonna be your target, right? Um, the wick, some people will take it to the wick. I always take it to the body. So right there at the red line, 210 is where the next target will be if it breaks right here. Okay. And the reason why they're doing this, guys, is because they're gonna kill a lot of people contracts for the day. But if you have contracts set for next week, then yeah, you will see a drop in your contracts, but not as crazy as this one. So, but you could also make a lot when it comes to today's contract because right now, if you buy today's contract, um, let's see right here. Coin calls today, and I'll say two. I'll go back to the same ones, 215. Oh, they're still in profit. They're still above where I bought it. So right now they're at 223 and 230. Not 223, but 23 and 30. So you have a little spread in there. Okay. Um, Let me see on the lower time frame if this reversed on the 5 minute. Oh, this actually created, this just reversed on the 5 minutes to go up. So this should push back up. So right now, contracts are at 25 and 30. Okay. So contracts are at 25 and 30. I'm not trading no more for the day, guys. I have a hard stop at 3 trades. Okay. I have a hard stop at 3 trades. This trade looks lovely, right? But I have a hard stop at 3 trades. If I take this trade, then I'm over trading. But also, if I was supposed to take this trade, I would take um I would take a call. I'll probably wait for this 5 minute to end at this point because I haven't jumped in it yet. I'll wait for this to end and then a break above here, then I'll go for calls. If it stays below this 200 and drop down, then we're gonna drop more. Now I still have my calls, my 225 calls, which is probably shit right now. Yeah, they're 3 cents. They're 3 cents
Wow.
to five. So um mm, mm, mm. Look at that. Went and broke the day's high and came right back down. Ain't that crazy? So right here is where I'm talking about, guys. So on this next part right here, so if we end in green, right? I'll wait. I'll wait for the break of this 5 minute candle. So we have 28 seconds left. A new 5 minute candle will come in, right? So trade scenario. Again, I'm not taking it because I already did trades, my 3 trades for the day. But a trade scenario for you will be wait for it to break, wait for it to come in, create a wick on the bottom, break this 5 minute, and then you take the call, right? Um, your stop loss will be the bottom of here. So if it break this five, then it's gonna continue down. So right now we have that candle come in. That's your stop loss. This come in, create a wick on the bottom, break right here. Once it break right here, you take a call. Let me see. Let me see. All right, those at 20. It didn't break yet, but you have to wait for the break. Is my thing off?
What?
The TikTok.
I think you moved it, didn't you?
I did? I don't think I did. All right, it just broke, guys. It just broke. So the average is 23.27. I'm not doing any more trades for the day, but it's a great trade. Not gonna lie to you, it's a great trade. Okay. But I'm not getting in any more trades for the day. I'm being disciplined with that. Um, this once it break the 15, which is right here, if it breaks the 15, which is right here, then we're gonna go back up to test VWAP first at 207.50 and then 210, which is up here at my level right there. Oh man. Mm. What's y'all thoughts on? I haven't done one yet, but I'm thinking about doing weekly reviews or daily, nightly reviews um, on here. So let me know if it's something that you'll be interested in me doing, and then I'll try to figure that part out. I'll try to figure it out with my schedule. So I'm thinking about doing daily recaps and like next day. What?
Nightly recap.
Nightly recaps, nightly recaps with look into tomorrow's possible trades, right? So I'm looking to do those videos. Let me know before I start doing them. I have to check my schedule, but I would like to hear if that's something that you guys would like to see as well. If it's something that you'd like to see, then I'll definitely go ahead and try to figure out how I can get those done. You said I move it, right? That's not it right there.
No, click on it. Click on the design. discontinued.
due to inactivity. Hmm. Go back in. Huh. How it says inactivity? How is inactive?
I don't know. I think the internet kept going in and out.
I don't think I can be on all of the other streaming stuff if I'm doing that.
Who says?
I'm not sure. It always do that though. Versus if I try not to,
Okay, go ahead.
if I try not to, then I'll see how that works. Um, let me see right here. As these happen, guys, make sure you're pushing your stop loss up. So if you get in this trade, again, remember your stop loss is right here. Okay. Your stop loss would be right here. But now, if we break down, if the next 5 minute come in and the next 5 minute break this candle, then we might see a push back down to this downside. So pay attention to that as well. I don't get it. Like, look at look at this.
Oh, shoot. You had mentioned Mara too.
Mara
You
did
said you
it.
had liked it.
Mara did a crazy run today. Mara did a crazy run today. Riot. Riot is pushing as well. So Riot is pushing. All right. Tesla is back under 300. All right, there you go on coin, guys. But you see, like, look at the contracts. The contracts are right there at the same, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, it is tricky right now. It is tricky, okay? So that's why you have to take profits on that same day contracts. You have to take profits no matter what. All I want is a piece of wine, darling. All right, guys. So the only thing that I'm still in the coin calls from earlier. Those were a lot of calls. I'm still in those. And I'll see what they do by the end of the day. Most likely they're not going to be worth anything if the price doesn't significantly go back up, right, and break the high, but we'll see. um but we made up for it in the trade just now earlier. We made up for those trades. And then we're in Apple calls for next week. Okay, we're in Apple calls 20250 calls for next week. Okay, so with that said, guys, I'm gonna jump off of here. 11 o'clock is my hard stop. No matter what, um, make sure you're drinking your water. Make sure you're minding your business.
Yep. And keep on pushing.
And keep on pushing, like my wife said. All right, guys. See y'all next week.